My dear chosen soul, I have been calling to you, reaching out in every way I can, but you have not been listening. Since yesterday evening, I have tried to catch your attention, and this is the final attempt, the last moment I will speak before the storm begins. It is not out of anger or frustration that I warn you, but out of love. I see what lies ahead, and I long to protect you from it. You may not realize it yet, but you are standing on the edge of a precipice. I see the spiritual distance growing between us, and I am trying to pull you back. Do not ignore my voice any longer. Your soul, once so vibrant and in tune with my presence, has drifted. I feel the separation widening each day as you wander further from the truth I have shared with you. There was a time when you sought me when your heart was open, and you walked in the light of my word. But now the light has dimmed in your life, and I see the consequences beginning to unfold. You have chosen distractions over devotion, noise over my still small voice, and the world's promises over my eternal peace. Know this, dear one, without me you cannot find true peace. Without my guidance, you are lost. The darkness is growing, and you may not even recognize it. Your soul is being pulled away from the very foundation that holds you. You are walking in a haze of confusion, and I have been trying to clarify your path and remove the cloud of uncertainty, but you have not opened your heart to hear. I know the world has its distractions, loud temptations, and promises of fulfillment in things that will only leave you empty. But I tell you now, this world is not your home. The distractions you cling to are only momentary. I offer you something eternal, a peace that surpasses understanding, a life anchored in my love. Yet you choose the fleeting comforts of this world, and in doing so you lose sight of who you are. And worse, you lose sight of me. I see how you have allowed your heart to grow cold. You have allowed bitterness, anger, fear, and doubt to take root where my love should be. You've wandered from the safe place, from the protection of my presence, and now I fear you are exposed. You think you are strong enough to face the world on your own, but I see the dangers lurking. The enemy is using every opportunity to pull you further from the truth. You are being led into an unsafe environment, an environment where the darkness is in full force and only my light can protect you. You have allowed yourself to be surrounded by people who do not know me, who do not walk in my ways. Their words are lies, and their actions are filled with deceit. You have been deceived, and the environment you have chosen is feeding your doubts and confusion. It is not a place where I reside, but where the enemy moves, seeking to destroy your peace, your purpose, and your soul. I have called you out of darkness into my marvelous light, yet you choose to remain in the shadows. You are surrounded by people and places that pull you further into the abyss. You may not realize the danger you are in, but I see it clearly. The very people you trust, the very environments you surround yourself with, are not safe. They are toxic and working against your peace, growth, and relationship with me. Do not ignore my warning. The longer you stay in this environment, the further you will drift from the truth. The more you entertain the lies, the more you will be deceived. The darkness you have allowed into your life will slowly erode your peace, your joy, and your very essence. You may feel secure now, but do not be fooled. The enemy is patient. He will wait until you are fully entangled in the web of lies before you even realize it. The time is now for you to step away. The environment you are in is not of me. It is a place of confusion, falsehoods, and spiritual decay. The people around you do not have your best interest at heart. They are pulling you away from my truth and will continue to lead you astray unless you make a choice. The choice to walk away, to stand firm in my light, and refuse to be part of the darkness. I know this may be hard for you. You have formed attachments. You have allowed yourself to believe that the people around you truly care for you, but the reality is that they are leading you into destruction. You must separate yourself from this environment, not just physically, but spiritually. You must cut the ties that bind you to places and people that are spiritually unsafe. This is not just a physical move, it is a spiritual one. It is a choice to return to my presence, to place yourself back under my protection. I am not asking you to make this decision lightly. I know it is difficult, and your heart has become entangled in these relationships and places. But I ask you now, how much do you value your peace? How much do you value your relationship with me? You must choose to walk away from what is harming you. You must choose to surround yourself with my light, with people who will lead you to me, not away from me. The enemy is not just in the form of people or places. He is also in your thoughts, your doubts, and your fears. He has whispered lies into your ear, telling you that you are not worthy, that you are alone, and that you are incapable of change. But I say to you now, these are lies. Do not listen to them. You are my beloved child, and I am always with you. I will never leave you, and I will never forsake you. But you must choose to walk in the light. You must choose to turn away from the lies and seek the truth. You are in an unsafe place spiritually and emotionally. It may seem harmless, but the longer you stay, the more the darkness will take hold. You cannot stay in this place and expect to grow in me. You cannot remain surrounded by lies and expect to find peace. I am calling you to step out of the shadows and into my light. I am calling you to leave behind the safety of the familiar and trust in my guidance. It is time to make the hard choice. It is time to break free from the environment that is spiritually suffocating you. It is time to leave behind the false promises and the toxic influences. I am here waiting for you to return. I am here ready to welcome you back into my arms, but the decision is yours. You must choose to step out of the darkness and into my light. You may not see it now, but I am protecting you. I am guiding you even when you cannot feel my presence. I am here watching over you. I know it is difficult, and I know you are tired, but do not give up. The safe place is with me. The safe place is in my love. I will protect you, and I will lead you to the place of peace. But you must choose to return to me. You must choose to walk away from the place and people that are pulling you away from my truth. I have warned you, and this is the last time I will speak before the storm comes. Do not ignore this call. Do not continue down this path. The consequences of your choices are real, and they will unfold if you do not heed my warning. But if you return to me, if you choose to step out of the darkness and into my light, I will protect you, I will restore you, and I will lead you to peace. I love you, and I long for you to be safe in my presence. Please do not wait any longer. Turn back to me, and I will guide you to the safe place, the place of peace, the place where you belong. The choice is yours, but I am here, always waiting, always loving you. Dear soul, I have seen your struggles, and I know the heaviness of your heart. You find yourself at a crossroads in life, standing before decisions that seem too difficult to navigate. There are moments when the noise of the world grows louder, and you find it harder to hear my voice calling you. Even though I have been here all along, waiting for you to listen, the world is full of distractions, full of choices, full of voices that demand your attention. But there is only one voice that can lead you to peace, to clarity, and to the right path, the voice of the Lord. There are times in life when the way forward seems unclear. You may feel lost, overwhelmed by the weight of the decisions before you. You may wonder if you are walking alone, if the choices you make are the right ones, or if you are even capable of making the right choice. But I tell you now, my child, in those moments of uncertainty, it is necessary to listen to my voice more than ever. I have spoken to you time and time again through my word, through the whispers of my spirit, and through the circumstances of your life. But when you are unsure, when the noise of the world is too loud to hear my voice clearly, I am still here, guiding you, waiting for you to turn to me for direction. It is in these moments of difficulty that the need for discernment becomes paramount. You may not always hear my voice immediately, and there are times when the path seems hidden, clouded by fear, doubt, or confusion. But I am always near, and I will never leave you. My guidance may not come in the form you expect, but I will always make my presence known to you. I have given you the gift of free will, and I do not force you to listen, but I invite you to seek me in the midst of your confusion. I will provide the answers you need, but you must be willing to trust that my ways are higher than yours. There are situations in life where my voice must be the deciding factor. I know you are faced with many choices, and some of them are difficult, even painful. But when you are at a crossroads, it is not enough to rely on your own understanding or the advice of those around you. I am the creator of all things, and I see the end from the beginning. My perspective is perfect, and I know what is best for you. Trust in me and listen closely to my voice. It may not always be the loudest or the most obvious, but my guidance is always the right way forward. When you are facing a decision, whether it is regarding your health, your relationships, your career, or any other area of your life, I urge you to come before me in prayer, seeking my will. Do not allow yourself to be swept away by the opinions of others, by fear, or by the desires of your flesh. Instead, bring your concerns to me and allow me to speak to your heart. In those quiet moments of prayer, when you humble yourself before me, I will make my will known to you. Sometimes my voice comes in the form of a thought, a peace in your heart, or a gentle urging in your spirit. Other times it may be a clear and undeniable sign, one that cannot be ignored. Trust in my timing, for I will make it clear when it is time for you to act. If you are struggling to hear my voice, I understand. Life is filled with distractions, and there are times when it seems as though I am silent, but I assure you I am never far from you. In those moments when you find it difficult to hear my guidance, I invite you to seek a sign. Just as I provided signs to my people throughout history, I will give you a sign when you earnestly seek my direction. It may not come in the way you expect, but I will show you the way forward. Remember that I am the same God who parted the Red Sea for Moses, who provided manna in the wilderness, and who spoke to Samuel in the temple. I have always been faithful to reveal my will, and I will continue to do so for you. Let us look at a few examples from my word, where my children were faced with difficult decisions and sought my guidance. I led them through their uncertainty, just as I will lead you through yours. When Moses was leading the Israelites out of Egypt, they came to the Red Sea and they were trapped between the sea and Pharaoh's army. They were desperate, with nowhere to go. But I told Moses to stretch out his staff, and I parted the waters. The people of Israel had to trust in my power, even when they couldn't see the way forward. I showed them the path, but they had to take a step of faith. In the same way, when you find yourself at a dead end, when the way forward seems impossible, trust that I will make a way where there seems to be no way. Consider also the story of Elijah, my faithful prophet. When the people of Israel had turned away from me and were worshiping false gods, I sent Elijah to confront them. In 1 Kings 19, Elijah was running for his life, fearing for his safety, and he found himself in a cave. He was weary and discouraged, but I told him to go to the mountain because I was going to pass by. Elijah witnessed a great wind, an earthquake, and a fire, but my voice was not in any of these mighty displays. It was in the still, small voice that came after. Elijah had to listen closely, and when he did, he heard my voice. It was a quiet whisper, but it carried the power of my presence. When you feel overwhelmed by the noise of life, remember that I may speak to you in a still, small voice. I am not always in the chaos. I am often found in the quiet, in the moments when you are still enough to listen. Another example is that of Gideon, who was called to lead Israel to victory against the Midianites. Gideon was unsure of his calling and asked for a sign from me. In Judges 6:30-40, he laid out a fleece and asked that, if it was truly my will for him to lead, I would cause the fleece to be wet, while the ground around it remained dry. When I answered his request, Gideon asked for another sign, and I provided it once again. Through these signs, I reassured Gideon of my will. If you are unsure, do not hesitate to ask for confirmation. I will guide you, and I will provide the signs you need to move forward. The Bible is filled with examples of my children seeking guidance, and I have always been faithful to provide it. You are no different. Just as I led them, I will lead you. But remember, my guidance is often not instant. It requires patience and trust. I may not answer you immediately, but I will answer in my perfect timing. Your role is to seek me with an open heart, willing to follow where I lead. Now, when it becomes difficult to hear my voice, do not despair. There are still ways to discern my will. One of the most powerful ways is to seek the counsel of wise, godly people who know my word. I have placed these people in your life for a reason, and their wisdom can often provide clarity when you are unsure. Seek them out and listen to their advice. But remember, even in this, you must test everything against my word. My word is the ultimate standard, and it will never lead you astray. Another way to discern my will is through the circumstances around you. I work in ways that are sometimes beyond your understanding, But when you seek my guidance, I will often align circumstances in such a way that my will becomes clear. Pay attention to the doors that open, the opportunities that arise, and the obstacles that appear. These are not coincidences, they are my way of guiding you. Trust that I am at work behind the scenes, orchestrating the events of your life to lead you to where you need to be. Sometimes you will experience a peace in your spirit, even in the midst of uncertainty. This peace is the confirmation of my presence, and it is a sign that you are walking in my will. When you feel my peace, you can know that you are on the right path. On the other hand, if you feel a sense of unrest, a discomfort you cannot explain, it may be a sign that you are not in alignment with my will. Trust that I am speaking to you through these internal nudges. I know that making decisions can be overwhelming, and I do not take that lightly, but I am here to help you. I am your shepherd, and I will lead you beside still waters. Do not let fear or confusion paralyze you. Trust in my guidance and take the steps I have set before you. Even if the path ahead is unclear, remember that I am with you, and I will never leave you. You do not have to walk alone. I am your refuge and your strength in times of difficulty. Seek me, listen for my voice, and trust in my timing. I will never steer you wrong, for my ways are higher than yours, and my love for you is everlasting. When you cannot hear my voice clearly, seek a sign, and I will show you the way. You are not alone in this journey. Trust in me, for I am faithful in every decision and every moment of uncertainty. Turn to me, and I will lead you. There is no decision too great or too small for me to guide you through. I will always speak, and I will always show you the way. I love you, and I will never forsake you.